Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Yes, it's the weekend, and it's time for the Older Man Random Reviews.
Older Man Random Reviews. Learn about life from an older man. Yes, an older man.
Yep, let's get into it. So, if you haven't seen the random reviews section of my podcast, this is where I look at videos that were randomly sent to me by my subscribers and viewers just to get my opinion as an older man. All right? I don't want to hold it up because there's quite a few I want to get through today. And so, give me a thumbs up right now so that we can just get straight into it and you don't forget to do it at the end of the video. And of course, if you want to book a session with the older man, log into askanolderman.com. Quick question? Yeah, you have those. Get me over on Instagram on Ask an Older Man as well. And by all means, guys, remember. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, do that now so that I don't distract you through this video. Okay, so let's look at the first video. The crazies are out there, guys. Man, the world we live in is getting worse. I just don't understand where it's coming from. But hey, we're here. So let's get into it.
Yes, I do have a child. And I don't care. I prefer to not date a man with kids. Like, dating a man with kids, guys, and especially after you've been a single mom, like, it's just something that you don't want to deal with.
I do not date men with kids, so much so that the men that I had children with are even disqualified.
9 times out of 10, I would never date a guy with kids. And I have a kid.
The baby dads are for the girls under 25 who are like naive and will believe everything he says and will watch his kids for him when it's his weekend. You know what I mean? Like, that's who the baby dads are for. The baby dads are not for the single moms.
Single mom looking for a stepdad for my kids. Qualifications: must have a 6-figure salary. Must have a car that can fit all my kids comfortably, or willing to buy an SUV or a van.
This is America, right?
Fam?
You can't make this stuff up. So these are women who've bred for another man, given their womb to another man, but they want a fresh man now with no kids to come in to mop up their mess. But yet they won't date a single dad. How can I respond to that? How can anybody with any sort of common sense think that that makes sense? That's how bad we're getting in the West with women right now, is that they think that they deserve the best of everything regardless of what they've done in the past. I need a fresh man to come in and, man, I got to read a few comments just so that you guys just don't think I'm being unreasonable. As a single man, I don't date women with children. Most of us don't. End the story. Most of us don't. If you watch my video from last night, and I'll link it at the end of this video, I was telling you that a gentleman called in who was dating a single mom, and she had a problem having more kids. And he asked me if he should leave her because he wanted his own kids. And my advice was, hey, you got to do what you have to do. You want your own seed, you need to find a woman that would help you do that. And of course, that single mom was upset that he wanted to leave her. Of course, her excuse was, you're leaving a good woman in her most desperate state. But imagine if the roles were reversed. He couldn't get it up, or he couldn't have kids, and she wanted to have kids. What do you think would happen? And this is a man that was taking care of her kids for the past 2 years. Now I understand. She was getting all the benefits. He was paying the bills. He was taking care of her, so she didn't want to give that up. But it shows you the selfish nature of females. And so that's why I tell you this story, because what you're seeing here is the selfish nature of women. They don't care about anyone else. They don't care about the fact that this man has to come in and subsidize another man's seed and her lifestyle that she has messed up on. It's unreal, man. This gentleman said, I laughed at them and kept it moving. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen. And pretty much the comments are the same. Ridiculous, stupid. Who these people think they are, who these women think they are, etc. It's not even worth reviewing. Let's move on to the next one.
Unicorn man, this 6-foot rich dude, and I don't think women understand unicorn man, this 6-foot rich dude, and I don't think women understand, you know how many other women are also looking for that same man? So to expect that, you can certainly get that, but I don't even think a woman would understand how to keep that kind of man, because that kind of man don't need you. And to think you got a magical coochie cat is not going to keep that man with money, because there are women that are just trying to throw it at him all the time. So I don't know where that's coming from. I don't understand it. It never made any sense to me, because it takes if you got a man that is on a purpose and he's able to provide that way, women don't even shut up enough to stay with that type of man, and then wonder why he's cheating on a woman who's not attractive as you or less than you. We're in a crazy delusion.
You see, women don't get it. Ladies, you don't understand this one simple point. It doesn't take a lot for a man to survive on his own. He don't need you to take care of him. That's why you go for the man to take care of you, to subsidize your lifestyle. Women spend much more than men. Women are much more vulnerable than men are. So when you find a man that could actually contribute financially to your lifestyle, you're literally finding a man that is contributing to you. He don't need you to contribute to him in order to financially survive. The only reason that he wants you is for permanent sex, which we know that's an illusion because women withhold it, blackmail him for it, hold it for ransom. Or he wants kids. He wants to pass on his genetic line. Otherwise, there is no use for females. So if you understand that simple point, a high-value man, he can outsource anything he wants. So can any other man. The man that you want, pretty much. The average guy, if you're not there, who do you think is doing it for him? And I'm talking about the men that are eligible for marriage. I'm not talking about the guy living in his mother's basement, that mommy has been cooking and cleaning for him all his life. I'm not talking about that guy, because that guy is a waste either way you look at it. You wouldn't want him. I'm talking about the guy that's staying in a one-bedroom unit, that hustles every day, goes out to work, cooks his own meal, cleans his own house, and does it day in, day out, day in, day out. Saves his little coins, buys his little car, and just keeps hustling every day. That's the average dude. That's the average adult. He don't need you. But on the other hand, you who have been working like that, same like he has, you need a lifestyle that you would want. Men don't need it. You're the one that yearn for the extremes. You're the one that need the products, the hair, the lace fronts, the freaking nails, the toes. You're the one that spends excessive amounts of money on nothing. When a man is building and investing in his little stocks, etc., you're the one that constantly need face cream and makeup. You know how much that shit costs? You don't need it, but you want it because you're competing with other women who are doing the same thing. But that's a lifestyle you need another man to help you sustain, because in your later years, when you have not invested any money into your future, you're in deep shit because you have no money accumulated, no investments accumulated. All of a sudden, you're 40 years old and you're $12,000, $15,000 in credit card debt. Anywhere between $40,000 to $80,000 in student loan debt. Staying in an apartment that you really can't afford. You're one paycheck from going bankrupt. One. But yet you need those vacations and you need to go to your fine restaurants. That is why you need a man. Men don't do that crap. They don't. Yes, some do. I'm not saying all men, but the majority of men don't do that. Men are more critical thinkers.
When I first got engaged, my mother-in-law gave me a piece of advice about marriage that I did not take, but I absolutely should have taken. She said to me, don't do his laundry. You're going to learn to hate him. And I remember thinking in the moment, like, wow, she is bitter. I don't know what her deal is with this laundry, but like, I feel like she's blowing this one out of proportion. But now I can tell you, after having been married for quite a while, that I don't do my husband's laundry. And this advice is something I tell to many women. Because what typically happens in these situations is when we're first together, when we move in together or we get married, we do things for each other, acts of kindness to show them that we love them. Hey, babe, I did your laundry. I know you've had a long week. Hey, babe, I made the coffee so it'll be ready in the morning for you. We do all of these things out of kindness and love for our partners. But then what happens is an expectation has been set. Something clicks in their brain that says, oh, she is going to do my laundry. She is going to make the coffee. She is the one who's going to make sure to book the vet appointment. She's the one who's ordering the groceries and telling me when to pick them up. Every time we do something, especially if we do it often, it sets an expectation. And then our partners expect us to do those things. And this is how the domestic labor goes from equal to very unequal very quickly. And it's assumed it's her job also just through societal norms. And so I follow my mother-in-law's advice. You can say this about groceries, laundry, his doctor's appointments, buying gifts for his parents, anything, right? Don't do it.
Women get the worst advice and then they put it out on the internet for other women to see, to make them have a horrible life. I don't get it. Hey, babe, do you hate me because you do my laundry? She has no idea what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. This is the worst shit I've ever listened to. Oh, God. I hope women are not listening to this, because the part she missed is that the man also does the same thing. He got to go out, clean the yard. He got to go out, wash the cars. He got to go out, do all the maintenance on everything else outside. That's expected of him. Anyone breaks in the house, that's what's expected of him. There's a thump in the night, that's what he has to do. He has to go check that out. She missed the other half of the relationship. What is the man doing? She don't have to do all of that other stuff. So ladies, be careful how you take advice for women online. You got to use your critical thinking skills and automatically think to yourself, okay, what is the man doing? Let me think of things that men do in relationships. Don't just think about yourselves. Once again, this is female selfish nature. Only thinking of herself.
What is it about women and accountability to where the two are just like oil and water? Why is that?
Well, how often do we really hold them accountable?
It's very rare.
Sure.
I guess just the pattern that I've noticed is like it's a constant process of emotional justification for their actions without admitting that it was a mistake.
I think it's not necessarily because in their heart of hearts they believe it.
Yeah.
It's because it works. Like every time the cop lets the woman off the hook for the speeding ticket because she's crying, it just trains that kind of behavior in women.
Okay.
Like, to what extent has acting in that way caused the dad to let up when she was a girl?
There's a quote from Socrates that goes, "Trust not a woman when she weeps, for it is her nature to weep when she wants her will." Thoughts on that?
It's a banger.
Sorry,
What
Madison.
Works.
I agree.
And that is so true. The problem is we have been letting women go with bad behavior. We have just dismissed it. I can't even deal. I can't even deal with that crap. I don't want to deal with. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, men have literally let women off the hook with bad behavior. So they now realize that if they just push it long enough, put up a front long enough, weep long enough, argue long enough, men will just say, all right, you know what? Listen, it's okay. Fine. Good. Take it. Go. They know that. They know that 100%. But if you keep doing that, they feel that they've now conquered you. That's where the problem comes in. I'm going to get into that video later, but I want to read a few comments from this video. Theo Allfather said, I saw my mom cry her way out of a ticket when I was 8 years old. When the cop walked away, she stopped crying immediately and said, wow, that was close. I never forgot that. Yes. And that was a man who saw the manipulation tactics of a woman. Men know that sometimes it just don't even make sense to just keep going. It's a frustrating thing to deal with a female when it gets to that point. And they know it works. But now it has been taken to the point where the manipulation has gone so far. The Me Too movement is a big thing. It's the Believe All woman is a big thing. There's athletes going to jail with rape accusations that never happened. Gangbang accusations that never happened. Corporate executives losing jobs because he's dismissed until the investigation is over. His reputation never, ever recovered after it was found that it was innocent. Or he was innocent. So we have to really understand, gentlemen, that it is not enough now to tell women, all right, whatever. Yes, dear. No, you need to stop that. You need to stop that because the ramifications of doing that now is now much more severe because the law is now looking at you from a different perspective. You need to fight back and fight back hard. You need to have evidence. You need to have your camera out. Minute an argument happens, pull the camera out. Get a witness. This gentleman says, as a man, you know you've won when she starts crying. All you have to do at that point is just stare at her. No words needed. Exactly. So this brings me to this next one point, because this is important. Because when a woman feels that she's won and you're conquered, this is what happens.
There's only one thing that all women want. People will tell you that they want money, they want someone tall, they want someone strong. The reality of hypergamy for a woman is only by one metric. It's our ability to manipulate a man. Yeah? We will only respect men we can't manipulate. You can be shorter than us, you can be poorer than us, you can be dumber than us in all other regards, but if we can't trick you, we'll still give you some respect. But if you're richer than us, taller than us, got more degrees and more qualifications, but we can trick you and we can manipulate you and we can derive resources, we cannot see you as a body to respect. The problem with men is they are far more naive than women. Majority of women, if you tell them that I saw your boyfriend talking to this girl, within 2 minutes she's investigating, and within 5 minutes she's screaming down the phone at him. There's only one thing that all women want. People will tell you that they want money, they want someone tall, they want someone strong. The reality of hypergamy for a woman is only by one metric. It's our ability to manipulate a man. Yeah, we will only
We're too naive, or it's just that we just don't have the mental patience to deal with a woman in her constant emotional manipulation. That's the biggest issue. But the point that you have to take into account is that women lose respect for men who she can manipulate. This is the part that you have to understand. That's why it's important for you, gentlemen, to be relentless and do not. You have to hold a woman's hand to the fire whenever something goes wrong. Otherwise, you're the one that's going to pay the price. Listen to this argument.
Feminist, and I don't hate men.
Okay, so you are a self-described feminist. What is a woman?
Why do you want to know?
I'm infinitely curious.
What's a man?
You're looking at one.
Why do you think that that's important to you, what a man and a woman is?
So
do you treat men and women differently?
Well, it depends in what context, though. Politically, no. Under the law, no. Should they be treated differently in societal customs and norms? Yes.
Why?
We should open doors for women. We should honor and protect women.
I want to honor and protect you, man.
Okay, great,
do you
thank
not
you.
honor
Women are
protected?
worthy of protection. Can you tell me what a woman is, since you're a feminist?
You're saying these things because you're trying to get a gotcha.
You're
okay,
a feminist. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what a woman is?
I'm a feminist.
Isn't that probably
because
important to feminism? What is the woman that you're trying to advance and protect? Isn't that integral to? Is that the whole feminist project? The war
Asking
against
what a woman is the only way that you can get a gotcha over everybody else. Why is it so important to you to define things in certain categories? How does that help your day-to-day life? Like
what other categories in the human species are there besides male and female?
Well, I just think that categorization is usually unhelpful when we're trying to improve society, right?
I have XY chromosomes.
Okay.
Can I give birth?
No, you can't.
Bingo. That's why categorization matters.
So what you see there, gentlemen, is a man who has held her feet to the fire. Feet, hand, neck, whatever. He held her down. She tried the whole shaming language. She tried the insulting language. Okay? She needed to be right. If he was a normal guy, he would have just said, whatever, and let her go with it. But he didn't. He kept pressing. Then he made her show her true colors and how stupid she sounds. You're a feminist, but you can't even describe what a woman is. The one thing that you are self-subscribed to be, you cannot even define what it is. Make that shit make sense. So this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you another example so that you guys can go forth and understand. Do not be manipulated by women. If you do, you're in trouble.
Are men and women equal?
Actually, women are better than men. What do men bring to the world? Literally nothing. Women, the vibes, just everything.
Everything you know and love. If you look around the entire infrastructure of our nation, our economy, every building you walk into. The way that you are portraying your ideas and opinions is through technology and infrastructure and an economy and a nation that was not only built, but it's still maintained to this day by men.
Did men allow you to have that haircut?
You taking personal attacks makes me seem like the more intelligent. Validate your point, not some personal attack because you're the argument. Feminism stops whenever it's inconvenient for y'all. By definition, you are delusional if you cannot defend your ideas.
You should go.
I actually don't go to
You notice again, once again, shaming and insulting. That's the only weapon the women have. Shame, insult, guilt, and the incestuous need to be right. Once you hold them to the fire and you hold to your points, don't lose your temper. Speak intelligently. State your facts. That's it. Women always approach everything from an emotional perspective. It's not factual. That's why she had no choice but to walk off. This young man held his own. He did not relent. That man will always be respected. Okay? So I hope that this is sinking in, gentlemen.
You can never see the true character of a woman when you are providing and giving her everything. Wait until you lost your job, you are sick, or your business crumble, and there is no income coming from your side. When the woman take over the responsibilities, the bills, the feeding, and etc., oh my God, that's when you will see the true colors of a woman. That's when you will see abuse, you will see cheating, you will see arrogance, you will see disrespect, and the rest. I pray it never happens to you.
Oh, I love when a woman spits some facts. This woman is spitting facts. I'm telling you, gentlemen, she's saying exactly what I would have told you. You never know the true nature of the partner or the woman you're with until there is problems. The woman who sticks with you through thick and thin, the good times and the bad times. The woman who is there holding you up when you're weak. It's impossible for you to stay strong 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's impossible. 10, 20 years. It's impossible for you to be the rock all the time. Sometimes something's going to chip away at you, man. And the woman who comes and she says, hey, honey, it's okay. I'm here. I'm with you. That's the woman you never desert. That's when you know you got a good one. They are rare. I have one. She's there 24/7. Pain in the butt sometimes, but she's there. She's listening. Okay? Point is, guys, identify. Sometimes you just gotta realize that when things are down and she's not there to support you, you might have to abandon ship, man. Now, I played a portion of this last night, and it did trigger a few people to respond, and I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna play the whole thing and just give you my impression, and I'll read a comment from it because it was powerful.
To be masculine. When I was married, or when I was in my past relationships, and a man didn't wear the pants, I had to take off my skirt and put the pants in the relationship. If a man can't show up and can't be a man and an alpha, then guess what? A woman has to be that alpha. So a lot of men in my life forced me to wear the pants because they had their skirts on. And this is what people don't understand, that when I have been forced to be masculine by men who were not alphas, and I had to show up for the family and I had to pay the rent, the food, everything, I had to. When a woman is in a relationship where the man doesn't show up, she has to put the pants on. So I'm sorry if I'm masculine, but I've been forced to be masculine. Show me an alpha man that is in his true alpha, not in his wounded masculine, but his full-on masculine, and watch me become a sweet, soft little girl. I need a man that is fully in his energy, masculine energy. And when a man gives that woman that feeling, that safety, that energy, that love, you can feel it. Then a woman deassembles her masculine energy and she falls into her feminine and she becomes a child with that man. But sadly, I have not met those. But I've been forced to be.
I keep hearing this crap from women. And here's my argument. First, let's break down what she said. Number one, she said, when I was married, she married a alpha. And then when he couldn't do it, then she had to wear the pants. But then it seems like that alpha is no longer there. See, that wasn't an alpha. That was a man that she sucked dry. Because if you marry an alpha, you would never be in charge. Never, ever, ever. You didn't marry an alpha. You married a simp that you sucked dry, and then when he didn't have anything else, you weren't there. You abandoned ship. And like I said in the last video, you want to know the true character of a woman? It's when you've lost it all, gentlemen. So she basically saying, I had to then pay for everything. What does that tell you? The man either lost it or she sucked him dry. Both can be very valid, because she obviously didn't marry a man that did not have means. Because in her opinion, that's an alpha man. A man that could pay for everything, that's an alpha. Women throw around these words that just freaking blows my mind. It just blows my mind. That's not an alpha. It's a man that had some money. He lost the money, or you spent more money than he was actually bringing in. Either way, it went horribly wrong. Now all of a sudden, you had to step up. How long did you have to step up for? Like I said, sometimes the man will stumble and fall. You got to learn to pick him up. You obviously didn't pick him up. You left his ass there. Because every man, apparently, you had a lot of men who weren't alphas that you had to wear the pants. It just doesn't make sense. So you were just picking just random dudes off the street that you had to control. You're obviously very masculine. You didn't have to do anything. You were already masculine. Like I said many times, a lot of modern women are literally men with tits and a panani. And that's why men don't find them attractive. Look at her. She's very masculine. Cross leg and the square jaw. It's almost like she's I don't want to get too deep. But her whole frame is masculine. Everything about her is masculine. Now imagine if I came in my feminine mode, right? Because I wasn't making enough money. I'm feminine. And only when I started making money, I started to get masculine. Doesn't make sense, does it? Anyway, I got to read one comment that came from this because it just sums it up nicely. Frozilla said, how do paying bills make a woman masculine? If it does, then every single woman would be masculine. Thank you, brother. Thank you. That sums it up perfectly. All right, guys. So listen, that's my random reviews for this week. Please keep sending the videos. I enjoy doing the random reviews. Because you know what? It just don't take me a lot of time to actually put together a long video and tell a big story for one long video. So this is a lot easier and nicer to produce. So guys, please give me a thumbs up. Please remember to like the video, okay? Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you got any good information from this, if you learned anything from the older man, all right, in the comments section. Get me over on Instagram if you need me to answer a quick question. Or more importantly, book a session with me, support the channel. All right? And remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. I'll see you in the next one.